Shall we play a game?
We should go live. Sorry, I was chatting. Right then, this is going to be a pretty casual stream, and I can only go for an hour and a half today because I have a doctor's appointment, finally, for what has been a very, very long-running cold. My voice is sounding a little bit better today, which is ironic. It's taken this long to get an appointment, and I'm starting to get better, but yeah, whatever. Okay, so here it is, Train Sim World 4. Otherwise known as ND23, which it still installs as, which I kind of find vaguely funny. Alrighty, so what should we do today? There's an interesting question. Hello, Mark B, Dave, Randall, you, Burke, and J&J, who was in earlier. And there's a few others I can see as well, but can't see who they are. I think, what do you reckon? Do we just trust quick play? Or do we try something and pick something? What do you reckon? Let's go for quick play. Let's see what it does. Yeah, 30 plus minutes. Why not? Let's see what it picks. We are at the mercy of the random genie. Ah, okay. So, has it just picked a route that's an old one? Or is this... What are we doing in this one? Let's have a look. Leeds approach, heading to Leeds station. Running around, blah, 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 blah. What are we actually doing in this one? No. This is an old one. We don't want an old one. We want a new one. Let's get out of here. Hello, Benjamin's brain in a jar. Okay, let's do it the proper way. Now, I'm going to do Scotsman tomorrow, so let us jump in. Oh, yes. I think it needs to be the Vectron. Let's see if I can figure out how to start this thing on Vorarlberg. We probably want to do something during the day so we can see it. Is that a full run? That's a full run. Oh, that's part 2. That's only 32 minutes. Where's part 1? All right, we'll do this one. Vectron time. And we probably need, I don't know, maybe a bit of fog. Leave it on dynamic. Why not? And of course, there's only one way to say the word. Vectron. I don't know if you've seen the video, but there's a an influencer who did a video short thing on the Bentley, and it went kind of viral. She went kind of viral. Let's pop in our master key. Cut in the brake. Set forwards. And let's go and turn on some stuff. Sorry about the jerkiness of my mouse. I'm using a new trackball, which only uses my thumb. And it takes my thumb a little while to wake up in the morning. Oh, more stuff to turn on, more stuff to turn on. Headlights. Let's go with that arrangement. And the power should be okay, but you can change country and power in this thing. We are in Austria, so 1.5 should be fine. And we want to turn off. Excuse me. I'm going to die today. Let's try not to die. Let's turn on AFB. And let's set that to 40 because we will be under monitoring because we're running PZB. And high beams, full high beams, yes. Brake release. That's sand. That's the cabin reading light. That should be about it, I think. I think I've managed to turn everything on. We'll see. Oops, I don't know why my rail driver's just decided it wants to become active. Mark B says, Dave says, guessing you have all routes installed. I don't have them all installed at the moment, but I actually can. But I'm still flipping around builds, so I minimize my routes at the moment. And I actually did put Northern Transpennine on because I wanted to show the 101 working. Mark B says, can you get a platinum model on Flying Scotsman Training Centre module? That's an interesting question. Will she go? Do I remember to press the thing on the top? Ooh, it's a double header. She'll move eventually. Hello, Michael. I haven't actually tried to get a platinum medal in the training centre. I wonder if you could, because it requires safety systems to get a platinum medal. This training centre doesn't actually have them. It's an interesting question. I will have a try. Why don't we do that after this run if we've got time? Real. Just hit a pole. We're on the signal box roof. What are we doing up here? I love how many pantographs this thing's got. Let's have to go and have a look. So there's the one we're using now, which in true train sim style is... Oops. That was my CIFA going off. In true train sim style is in the wire. And then we've got a high voltage pantograph, so we're using the low voltage pantograph at the moment. And then we have the same at the other end. We have a high voltage and another low voltage for when we're going in the other direction. Safe to release, apparently. Yesterday this train yelled at me a lot. And if it's safe to release, we should be able to go faster as well, shouldn't we? So let's put our speed up to... Oops. 50, come on. Right. It's a powerful little beastie, the Vectron. Flying Scotsman is by far my favourite locomotive in the routes we get with 4. But I gotta say, I do like the Vectron. Hello, C. How are you? I kind of wish the Vectron was available on some more passenger services. There's one, I think. But I'd love to use it for commuting, wouldn't you? But that's just me. So who has the game so far? And if you've got it, how are you finding it? And is there anything that you want me to feed back to DTG? Good or bad, either way is fine. Scare the German passengers. Michael has it. How are you finding it, Michael? Oh, it's time to put on some more speed. Richard, hello. Uberk has got it as well. Richard says, I had a quick couple of hour dabble on TSW4 yesterday evening, Azuma in the UK and Antelope Line in the USA. A few bugs need fixing, but that's always the case with new releases. A fine experience. And Mark B has the Deluxe Edition. I'm quite happy with what released. And I think, obviously I can't tell you details about beta, but my experiences in beta this time round tell me that DTG have listened to the community, because there was no last second stuffing in of features. When they closed it for changes, they closed it for changes, and they only put in break fixes for really important things that would hold people up. So I think they've learned, and I think the trains show that. I like the new fog. There are still some things I'd love to see addressed. Like, that's an awfully clean line, isn't it? I'd love that to be a little less programmatic. Cruise along through the German countryside. Austrian countryside, what am I saying? I'm so used to these being in Germany. Hello, CNW. Michael found the alerter very quiet on the antelope line. It is a bit quiet. You should try the Azuma, that's even quieter. Uberk says he doesn't have anything significant to complain about. There are some things that are still a bit iffy. I mean, I put in some bugs yesterday, day before yesterday. The alerter in the Scotsman, for example, you can't use the Q key. Not the alerter, sorry, the AWS, TPWS. You can't use the Q key to acknowledge an adverse signal. You have to actually press the lever, which is a bit boring. But you get over it. Achtung, Zugfahrt! I assume that's something like fast freight, maybe? It's probably Zugfahrt, isn't it? Bridge. Just bridge shot. Train is now adjusting. It's going to go into braking to cope with this downgrade. C says the Azuma safety systems are stupidly quiet. Interestingly enough, I actually agree with you. Let's be really clear about that. I do agree it's too quiet, and it did actually get made louder during beta, but it's still not loud enough. I've listened to the raw recordings they did from the Azuma of the safety systems, and they actually are really quiet. I don't know how people drive that train successfully, because it's so quiet in the cab. But, you know, it needs to be louder for the game. I certainly agree with that. Anthony Trains 4472 says hi back. Dave Randall says, enjoying it. The only bad thing is the results screen looks so squashed on driver level. Yeah, I think the new results screen needs some time to evolve, and I think it probably needs a few different things, but I do know that DTG wanted some community feedback from how it was going, so jump on the forums and let them know what you think of the results screen. Because they've got more plans, but they want to see what the community thinks first. Which is fair enough. CNW says, what's up? The only good route in TSW4 is the updated Northeast Corridor. Really? That's not even in TSW4, young fella. That's coming later. C says, I don't normally play non-UK routes, but the ones I got, I'm actually really enjoying them. That's good. Yeah, one of the advantages, I suppose, of the big yearly release is it encourages you to play some routes from other countries to get value for your money. And, because if you're buying it for just one route, yeah, it's an expensive thing to do every year. But if you're buying it for 3 routes, it's, you know, it's quite reasonable. CNW says, don't mind me, I'm in a restaurant. What are you eating, CNW? Uberk says, the updated Riesa Dresden route is excellent. Glad you're enjoying that. They actually fixed one of my bugbears. There was a magnet on that route that always bit me with PZB, even when the signal was green, and they fixed it. Very happy about that. Richard Lawblister says, people wandering around with luggage, carrying coffees with them, etc. is a nice touch. Yeah, they got a new guy who specialises in dioramas in Unreal, and that was his job. He got brought in to do that, and I think it does add a nice touch. It's quite different. What are you two doing? Deep in conversation. They have a lot of new movements on the characters, which is cool. You can still see his forehead through the hat, so we're getting there. And there's a lot of new faces now as well, which is kind of cool to see. SIT says he does feel TSW4 is definitely going in the right direction. Yeah, I'm liking the new changes. I'm liking what's going on. I think good things are happening. There's more that needs to happen with some of the old bugs. There are a few that haven't been addressed, and I'd really like to see that happen. I think some of the changes they've done to the animation are good. I like that they're starting to cache the shaders, so the first time you run a route, it can be a bit janky and hitchy, and this is a brand new installation, so it will be. But it keeps it. So next time you run it, it's not. It's a smoother experience. It's not still not totally completely smooth, but it's getting better. So I appreciate they're spending some attention there. Those well-behaved German people and Austrian people who stand behind the yellow line. Aren't they nice people? Dave Randall says it's probably okay at lower levels, just me being stupid high level. I think it's good that you're stupid high level, Dave. It's a great thing. People with, I think it's 5-digit scores, 5-digit levels, doesn't fit in the boxes, but that's such a small percentage of the population. I can kind of understand why they'd leave it that way. One thing I'm not so sure about myself is the thicker overhead. To me, it looks very much like there is... Uh-oh, have I changed countries and I didn't realise it? That would make me think I have. Where we are we on the map? Should I be changing to German? I'm not sure. I'm just going to leave it alone and see what happens. It's an interesting thing, but like I was saying, the overheads, it'll probably grow on me, but I'm not quite sure I like it that thick. I kind of liked it before, where it was, you couldn't really see it that much sometimes. I get on consoles that it was disappearing far too much, but now I think it's maybe too thick. We are in fact braking, aren't we? So I think it does want me to change the power. So we probably better do that. Come on. Let's go for 25 kV maybe. Maybe that's what it wants. And there's a circuit breaker somewhere I have to push, isn't there? Train line's on. Now we're going to be able to power again now. Yep, that's what it wanted. It wanted to go up to 25 kV. That looks promising. I think I somehow muddled my way through that. Alright, back to the chat. C&W says he ain't paying $82.49 for this game. I'm going to stick to TSW3 for another 2 or 3 years. Well, if you'd got it during your early order, mate, it would have been $50. So it would have been fine. C says, off topic, but you passed your assessment. Congratulations again. I did. Thank you. Now, I passed my Steam assessment. I actually, sadly, I'm doing another one next weekend because I've been put on to be endorsed on the Garrett. I've only fired the thing twice. In fact, I think I fired it once, and the other time I watched someone else fire it. So I'm really not sure how that's going to go. I'm going to get hold of one of my mentor firemen and get some instruction on how to fire it. That was a big hitch when I went to the 8 key then. I had a horrible suspicion it was about to crash, but it didn't, so I'm happy. driven Vectron to level 3. And been hit by Sifa. C says, off topic. Oh, we've done that one. Richard Lawbuster says, not so much fluorescent hair, thankfully. Yes, that's very true. That's something that needs addressing in an upcoming route. Who said that? I didn't say that. I wasn't here. But fluorescent hair does seem to appear occasionally. It's weird. Mark B says, the door control on the driver's console on the 4024 appears to behave oddly. Points right when opening the left doors. Yes. Yes. I think that got... I'm trying to remember what the conversation was around that. I'll have to look back. I need to find a cab video for that one, because I don't know a lot about the 4024, only how I've driven it in Train Sim Classic, and there's no guarantee that that one's right either. Because I don't know if you've looked on the internet, but there's very, very little in the way of documentation for the 4024. It's almost nothing. If you wonder why throttle keeps appearing, my very old rail driver is starting to crack the SADs on USB sometimes, and it disconnects and reconnects, and then all of its things get reread. Hugh Burke says, with the minimised UI in the top left, I wish there were actual speed next to the current speed limit. Isn't that what that's for? Most locomotives have a speedometer. Not all of them, but most of them. And the others you can count poles. I want to get this onto a route where you can really open it up with LZB and do some decent speeds with it. Vectron. Dave says, no, the border is right near at the end of the route. I wonder if there's a power change earlier, because it certainly wanted me to. And it's happy now. Maybe I was in the wrong power to start with. That's always possible. That'd be the kind of thing I'd do. C says there's a little stretch on the East Coast main line where there's no wires at all. There is on this route too. And on Dresden there's a stretch too. And Lucas just... Excuse me. Lucas put in an enormous amount of effort to try and find all the places where there was missing wire and string it up. And he still missed a few places. They're getting better at stuff like that, but... yeah, it is needed. And it's interesting that as you play, I mean, I know people say, why don't the beta testers notice that? But I have to say that as you play, there's so much other stuff that you're looking at that sometimes you just don't notice the little things like that. And then it gets out and you see it the first time it's streamed and you think, why did I never see that? Yeah, it's a different experience watching someone else play it to playing it yourself. It's quite interesting, so, yeah. Richard says, quaternary wires could be made less intrusive. I agree with you. In between TSW and 3 or 4 thick was probably fine for me. Yeah, I kind of think it's probably a little bit too thick now. This is Train Sim Classic thick, and I didn't like them in Train Sim Classic very much. So, yeah, it is what it is. Mr. Mayhem says, sorry I'm late. You haven't had a look at Flying Scotsman yet, have you? No, I haven't yet. Flying Scotsman, tomorrow stream all of it. And I'll probably go for 2.5, maybe 3 hours tomorrow. This one's only a quick one. Because I've got a doctor's appointment. So I have to finish this in an hour. Will be all Flying Scotsman. I have a faint suspicion I'll have to acknowledge that. And slow down. Now, will that be enough to slow me down? That's the question. Oh, actually, I want to get all the way down to 60, don't I? Oh, I'm going to anyway, that's fine. Will it be enough to get my speed down below 70? I'm going to get whacked by PZB in a minute, I think. Yep, there we go. Sigh. We didn't get there. We didn't get there. Yeah, you can be quiet now. And I think if I throttle up, it'll let me drive again now. No, it's still yelling at me. No, it's finished yelling at me. Will it let me drive? You going to give me power? Or are you going to make me wait for a minute? Let's do the PZB dance. All buttons. I'll catch up with the chat in a minute, though. In a minute. Yes, there we go. The PZB dance did it. Just push all the buttons. It's all good. I'm actually going to put this down to 40 as well now, because I'll be in monitoring. Actually, I'm not in monitoring. Look at that. It's not flashing. What I'm saying is not flashing is this 70 down here is not flashing. It's going to take her a little while to recover. We've got to pump the brakes up. There we go. We have another adverse signal coming up here. How far are we from our stopping point? Not very far at all. Let's catch up with the chat while this is driving again. Uberk says with the minimised HUD on the top left. Now we've done that one. Done that one. Mr. Mayhem, we've done that one. Slider916, hello. From watching other videos, this looks like a worthy purchase. I'm enjoying it. So it's quite cool. I'm actually love having it out of beta, to be honest with you, because I can show it to people. Uberk says, yes, when to look in one place on the screen for both current speed and the speed limit. Yeah, the idea is to actually stop you relying on the HUD and to force you to use the train. That's the concept behind it anyway, which I kind of like. You know, I got no danger going over the limit this time, so we're fine now. We're not too far off our ending point anyway, I think. Slider says TSW3 stuff can't be moved to 4 until Tuesday. That is correct. It definitely all works though. I've had all of the stuff installed. I've played lots of the other DLCs. I've not had any dramas at all that weren't there before. The dramas that were there before are still there, obviously, but there's no new ones that I've found. Mark B says, I'm enjoying the more minimalised UI. It feels challenging with Steam. Yes, it does. But that's okay. Steam is challenging. Steam's supposed to be hard. It's not as hard as it is in real life. Steam's actually really hard. Let's pop on just a little bit of brakes. Maybe a little bit more. Got the bumper pole scrolling way up there. Slider C says, Slider yay Tuesday, or yes Tuesday, yes it will be. C says, can't wait till Tuesday to add layers on ECML. Be prepared for a giant download, folks, on Tuesday. And if you're on Xbox, I've got one, and man does it manage downloads badly. I've got the thing set to download in the background, and I left it on all night to get the TSW4 loaded on, and it didn't do it. I had to go and tell it I wanted to download it, and then it downloaded all the DLCs first instead of downloading the game. And that's a trap for young players on the Xbox. It's one of the most common comments or questions I get on people saying, I can't make it work on Xbox, and what's usually happened is they've got the DLC, but it hasn't downloaded the core yet. And they're trying to play the DLC, because on Xbox, each of the individual DLCs looks like a playable game, but they're not if the core's not there. All fun. C found out a couple of days ago he's going to be a dad again. Well, congratulations. What are you having, boy or a girl? Or do you not wish to impose a gender at this time? Richard says Festina Lente. Uh-oh. Yay. Uncouple 16 vehicles. All right then, we better get out. So quiet when it's sitting still. Let's just put on the marker so I know where. Mr. Mayhem says, I'm still very frustrated with the fact that my computer is not good enough to run TSW and I can't afford a better one yet. Yeah, it's not cool. I spent quite a lot of cash making my machine better. And, I mean, some of you guys know the challenges that I've had with that. It seems to be quite settled now. I've ended up putting another CPU cooler in it. And I've ended up changing some other bits and pieces to get everything to be happy. Hopefully that's the right one. Ooh, I like this. I like services where you do stuff. This is new. Probably should have put a handbrake on that, but you know, that's life. Yeah, so upgrading isn't always the pleasant thing that you would expect it to be. I had quite a lot of trouble with this, which is really funny because we upgraded, well, I shouldn't say we, he bought it all, upgraded my son's machine and I helped him put that together and he's had no dramas at all. He's just worked. And I've had dramas, you know. Whatever. We've still got a red signal up here anyway. Close the door. Well, that's a nice satisfying sound, isn't it? Let's open the door again. Just so I can close it again. No. Oh, it's just a nice sound. So, I don't think... we can go somewhere. Alright. That signal doesn't look like it changed aspect, does it? Wasn't it showing that before? 2 white lights? Now apparently it's green. Brakes off. I should still be set on 40 kilometers an hour, so that should be fine. It is powering up. Let's get rid of the stopping marker. Trains, kits, etc. says, I always found Steam much less overwhelming than being shouted at by computers. Especially German computers. They do like shouting at you, don't they? I remember the first time I played Train Sim Worlds. I mean, I played Heavy Haul, so it wasn't the first time I played it, I suppose. It was the first time I got into, I think it was the Ice 3. And I tried to make that thing move, and I tried for about an hour, and I couldn't get it to go, and it was so frustrating. I didn't play the game again for a week. It just annoyed me so much. So, yeah, being shouted at by computers is not really cool. Dave Randall says he thinks his TSW3 install is 250 gig. Mine's closer to 650. It's a bit tedious when it wants to update everything. I did see a little flash of light in the tunnel there, which is a bit sad. Bit of a light bake fail on the end of the tunnel there. Headlights that do things. Yay. Some of the German tunnels, or these tunnels, force you back into the cab like the old tunnels. They haven't had that feature ticked where you can stay outside. It's a bit sad. Michael Newbury adds his congratulations to SI, who's just about to become a new dad. Mr. Mayhem will be back in half an hour or so. Enjoy, mate. I will... Yeah, I'll still be here in half an hour. Richard says, I built a new desktop last year. Mine went fine, no dramas. I've built all except one of the desktops I've owned. It's quite fun to do. It is when it goes smoothly. I should probably put some power on, shouldn't I? Yeah. Cab light works well, doesn't it? Not. Alright, we'll just fumble around for it. It's here somewhere. Fumble, fumble. That's the throttle. So next to that should be a AFB lever. Or maybe not. No, we're coming out of the tunnel anyway. I'll be able to see it in a moment. It's sad the cab light doesn't work. Right. Good stuff. Coffee? To Bleden's yard. Oh, gratuitous spread shot. We have to, don't we? Do we just have to? Let's figure this thing out again. And I want to lower. Yeah, about there. And we can leave the depth of field things the same for this one. Maybe I might bring the depth of field out. Bring the field of view out a bit, I think. Come on. You've got to click on just the right spot. There we go. Yeah, about there. That looks nice. And then let's give it just a little bit more colour. At that point there, I think. There we go. That's it. There you go, photo mode. Hey, look at upload it now, eh? In the foreground, while I wait. What? Spin, 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 spin. Let's come out of there anyway. It said something about it couldn't upload to Dovetail Live then. Oh well. Upload it later. Richard says, must try a few of the German routes again. I've not driven one for ages. After watching this, it's going to be Vectron first. It's a fun locomotive. There's quite a lot of things to get it to move. And it took me a little while to remember them all. But yeah, it's a fun one. I like it. Uh-oh. There was someone standing on the tracks then who teleported away at the last moment. It's a very good thing they know how to teleport, or I would have run them over. I don't want to run people over. I was about to say we're more important than that freight, but it hasn't got any engines, so clearly we are. It's good to have engines. We're not that far away. I shouldn't have put fog on this route, should I? Because it's got these beautiful mountains and we can't see them. Oh well, live and learn. Since we're almost at the end of this one, I might go and do a bit of a Metrolink run next, since I'm running Flying Scotsman tomorrow. I'll probably do the Azuma tomorrow as well. Or we could do a 4024. What do you want to do? Metrolink or 4024? Let's pop in a little poll. I am quite enjoying the Vectron myself. Metrolink, says Richard. Hopefully I don't get bitten by Sifa for doing this. But this is important. Can we get close enough to it? Oh, we can't. You make sure you find a place where you can get close to the water in this thing, because the water is magnificent. DTG have finally figured out water. Hello, New York, Texas Railroad. How are you? Welcome. It's looking like Metrolink's gone for the popular. Yeah, so Metrolink's at 88%, so we'll end that poll because that's pretty good. So the next question is, Sifa. Almost didn't make it back then. There we go. I'll let you guys choose whether to do the F125 or the cab car. Metrolink and Dovetail did work in partnership, yes. Oh, we're seeing some of the mountains. The fog's clearing up. Just looking at it on my stream monitor in OBS, and it seems to have brighter colours in OBS than it does on my own screen. That's weird. There goes another 4024. Should probably actually start slowing down soon, because we're not far off the end. They seem to have figured out distant foliage now too. That's something that's quite new, because the trees up on the mountains up there look quite nice. They don't pop in. There's enough definition of it to know it's a tree, but it's not really super detailed, so it's not eating up your performance. Richard says not that he's trying to sway the vote. Benjamin's brain in a jar, the dangers of polling and driving, yes. Yes, especially when you've got a demanding locomotive that has PZB and Sifa turned on. Smiley face poll. Now this is where the voltage changes, I think. But I kind of think I already have, so but we want to go to Germany, don't we? I need to think about this now. So I probably want to pantograph lower. And go to... I thought we did this before, though. Germany. And then pantograph raise. Let's see what that's doing. That looked like the same pantograph, though. Oh, let's see what it does. Do we have power or not? Did I raise the wrong pantograph, maybe? I think the main breaker was closed. No, we're still just stopping. Let me pull that pantograph down. Maybe I picked the wrong power. Let me try 1500. See what that does. Let's try that. That's still the same pantograph, isn't it? No, it stayed on 25. It didn't change. It won't let me change. Or is it just forcing me to do that? Hang on, which one has it got up? It's got the back ones up. And we've got the back ones up, so why doesn't it work? Close the main circuit breaker. I thought I did. Have I broken it? I think I've broken it. So did they come down? They did come down. Good. Let's try changing to 1500. Alright, so let me do it this time. Let's just open that. Put the pantograph up. Now we're getting different pantographs? Now we're getting the same pantographs. We've got line power now. I've done something wrong. Oh no. Yeah. Open. Down. Let's try that one. Still got the same photograph. What have I done to it? We're not quite going to roll into our destination. Let's put some brakes on. Chat, any ideas? What have I done? What have I done? I've broken it. I was so close. It's definitely raised the rear pantograph, and we want the other one, don't we? Off. Open. Alright. So, let's try the other power. X-rays. It's still that one. It says it's got train line power, and it says it's got 1500 volts. All right. Let's open this, close the circuit breaker. It's making noise this time. Will it let me drive? Yes! Okay, I have fumbled onto the correct sequence. Completely out of luck, not skill. Maybe, surely you don't have to stop to do that. Oh well. Anyway, we got it going again, luckily. Mr. Coaster Coaster says, stopping by shortly, is it worth 80 bucks? If you are going to play all 3 routes, yeah, I'd say so. If you got it on pre-order, it would have been 50, just saying. Uberk says the visible mountain trees is a great bonus. Yeah, some areas still stay bare. I'm not sure if that's intentional, but to me it's better, this new kind of distant scenery stuff. I wish they'd solved that, though. The shadows only drawing right in front of the train. I kind of think just get rid of the shadows and be done with it. And I don't think I want to be running up this fast anymore either, because we're very close. We might just come back down to about 65. Don't we scare the passengers? Hello, passenger people. How you doing? Waiting for your train? Sorry about running a freight through. Let's see how it polls. It's 50-50 on the F125 or the cab car. Someone's going to have to break the tie. I'm actually looking forward to running this on the Xbox, because I have an Xbox S, which doesn't have an enormous amount of RAM in it. So I'm really curious to see what the distant scenery looks like on the S. And how well it performs. Ah, we're in a tree. Of course we are. The simulator guy has been enjoying TSW4 all day. Fantastic. Pretty close now. I'm not going to pretend to be able to read German signals, so this doesn't look completely green, so I'm just going to acknowledge it. I'm going to slow to 70, which is fortunate. I'm already doing 70. I'm doing 60, so that'll be fine. I won't get bitten by PZB this time. But I think I might just start this slowing right down now. That is bound to a keyboard control, I just can't remember what it is. Actually, that's another good thing, is nearly everything is bound to keyboard controls now for accessibility. And you can change them. So if you don't like the mapping, you can change it. Well, we've got 58% on the F125 now, so it looks like it'll be the F125 that we'll be doing. As cab cars go, I actually don't mind the one on Antelope. I'm not normally a fan of cab cars, but this one's actually kind of nice. 62% on the F125 now, so I'll close that poll. I think that's pretty good. The Antelope Valley cab car doesn't so much look like a cab car, it looks more like a locomotive, so I don't mind driving it so much.
Zugbeeinflussung. Zugbeeinflussung.
I do love all the little noises you hear in this train. The scenery is nice. I think they've done well. It says, but there's a big gap in the scenery. I don't know why I'm pointing at it. It's kind of useless, but there's a big gap in the scenery down the left-hand side there. I shall pop in a bug for that. I think I might actually want to put some power back on. Or we're not going to make it to the end. I was maybe a little too eager to slow down then. Alphine11, how did you make your UI look like that? This is just how it looks. This is running at 2K in the middle of my giant widescreen monitor. I have a 5K monitor, but I run the game at 2K when I'm streaming. I only run it at 5K when I'm playing. And it's 150% screen resolution, and everything is cranked to the right. Or did you ask how did I make the HUD look like this? This is the minimal HUD. So I can show you that in the settings in a moment. But given I'm coming up to a red signal, I won't do that just yet. Now you can turn that on if you want it. I've got it turned off in settings. We can have a look at that. What, train? You can roll better than this. I really like this HUD. I don't like the big one. Because I want to be forced to use the train displays. Yeah, I'll have a look at the HUD settings in a moment. They're a bit funny, the HUD settings. They're a bit not as well thought out as they could be. Once you turn it off in settings, you can't actually turn it on again with the Control 5 key, for example. But it's set up so you can have whatever combination you want. At 4024 is ripping into the platform over there. I'm guessing he's an express. Yep, straight through. Welcome to Bledens. So I likes how they've made changes to the HUD and made it optional. I'm loving the lights and vibrations on the PS5 controller. Nice touch that was. Does it on the Xbox controller as well. No lights, obviously, because it doesn't have the light bar. But it does have the haptic feedback now. And you can use both the Xbox controller and the PS5 controller on PC, if you desire to. Yeah, the mountains are pretty nice, Alphine 1-1. Grossly overpowered train, now that we've arrived here. It was significantly longer before. And I do really love that services do things now, so we left some carriages behind on this service. I really like that. I also like the new free roam stuff. I'll probably do a stream purely dedicated to free roam, and what I'm thinking is we'll pick a route, and then I'll get the chat to tell me what to put places, and we'll do that, and we'll see what happens. No worries, Alfie. Yep, we're in the German part now. Let's come and sit up here and watch it appear in our face. Spin around, spin around. I shall trust my braking abilities so much I will stand in front of the train. In fact, I think it's going to stop down there anyway. It's going so slowly. Let's give it a bit of oomph. Hope I can hear Seaford this far away. Free roam does work in the timetable mode, yes, and you can totally create some mayhem if you want to. I didn't even run over myself. This is the new scoring screen. Glod. You can tell I've been messing around with level configs in beta, can't you? I'm not actually a level 15 million. I just wanted to see what it looked like. But anyway, it's all good. Let's have a look at the settings. E to continue in there. Let's just go to settings. Main menu first. And settings, hardened gameplay. So we have got, so you can turn off the old HUDs that you had with the next speed limit and next signal. You can turn them on and off. There's the track monitor, which is the thing running in the top right-hand corner, which has got your signals on it and distances. I kind of want that to have stations as well. It doesn't at the moment. I would love it to have stations. Drop your feedback in the forum if you want it to. And there is it under accessibility? Yeah, this one where you can change your HUDs. You can have the small one and the large one. And you can change your HUD type here. So it's weird that it's under accessibility, not HUD and gameplay, but you know, whatever. This is where you can have no HUD, or you can have the normal one, which is the big F5 HUD down on the right-hand side, the big circle thing. And small and large actually makes a difference now. And there's the simple one, which is hasn't got any of the train controls on it. It's only got the speedometer. And minimal, which is the one I run. So I quite like minimal. All right, we're going to go and jump over to the F125 now. I'm going to do it by choosing a train, because I'm brave, because this didn't work in TSW3 for the longest time. So let's see if it works here. 6:30 in the morning. That looks all right. Oh, that's only a shunting move. Yeah, let's go to Burbank, and that'll take me a little bit over time actually, but we'll do this. And should we make it rain in L8? Because it never does. Maybe they need some water. But anyway, let's see. I agree it needs stations, Alphine. And if you jump into the forums and let them know that it needs stations, that would be really good. All right. Let's get doors open for a start. And let's get our reverser handle in and into forwards. Let's get our brakes set to passenger. And I'm going to release those and put on the independent. That does look like it's pumping up on the display there, which is good. Good. And we want some headlights. Not windshield wipers. Headlights. Not the cab heater either. Headlights. Oh, they're already on. And don't want rear headlights. We do want our gen field so that we can actually move. Come on, let's get on it. And Where is it? It's over here. Just had to get out of the chair. The alerter is one of these. Come on. There it is. I knew it was there somewhere. And let's pop on. Let's excuse all the jiggling around. Front marker lights we don't want because they're red. We can put the rear ones on, that won't hurt anybody. That's about it for up there. And lock doors time, so let's do that. It's not very good, all those noisy doors, isn't it? Alright. We're just going to cruise straight towards a red light, because that's what you do. Just catching up with the chat. It should have stations, yes it should. Dave Reynolds said just got a platinum medal on the Dresden without using safeties. Really? That shouldn't be possible. But congratulations. Michael would like to see stations on the trackside monitor as well. All the DLCs carry over Alphine. Absolutely everybody. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see your Make It Foggy. Foggy is prettier. Now this signal should change because we were waiting for that train to come in. So we should, I hope, there's the alerter. We should, I hope, get a green signal shortly or I'm going to have to stop. So I'll just stare at that for a little while. C is really enjoying this loco. I think we're going to have to stop. Come on, signal. Change! Change! No change for you. Did that train over on our right get out before us? What's going on? What's going on? He stole my path. Bastard. Alright, we'll go watch him then. We're watching you, fella. Path stealer. He's empty, so I reckon he's a yard move, but he's gone out in front of us. How weird. Alphine wants to see the mountains. Not a lot of mountains around LA, not in the near part of it. There is Mount Wilson. Friends of mine maintain the telescope on Mount Wilson, and I've been up and helped them with some stuff occasionally. Back when I used to live in America. You do feel high up driving this, you're right, C, definitely. And C goes, no, wait, stop. No, that's alright, mate. We're all good. We're just waiting for our signal. Yep, they let the non-revenue out in front of us. Oddly enough, the next signal's green. It's just this one's not. Let's see what it says. Proceed as signals indicate. But I can't, it's red. You know what we can do, though, while we're waiting? Let's jump outside. Because, you know what we can do? Let's put a Flying Scotsman on the track. Just because we can. There we go. There's free road mode for you. So yes, you can do it when you're in climb up. There we go. There's that signal going out there. I'll laugh if Scotsman gets a free signal. shouldn't have to change tracks, SI2. Actually, that's showing it's yellow. It's actually not showing red at all. Well, you know what? What we're going to do is we're going to have a crack. And if it blows up on me, it blows up on me. Should we save it? Probably should save it, shouldn't we? Just in case. Whoops. Thought I released the brakes, but I didn't. No, it's definitely red. It's definitely red. Yeah, F1 switches the entire HUD on and off. Am I actually in the train? I am in the train. Good-o. We still have a red signal up the end there. I might have found a service that's broken. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Because what's that track? See, that one's got a path out. Isn't that interesting? I think I was supposed to change those points. Because look, now I've got a path out. Let's go. Thank you, SI. Scotsman has done a couple of tours of the parts of the planet. I only meant to do 12 through here, but I'm going to catch up a little bit. Isn't it interesting that you were supposed to set a manual set of points at the start there? Weird. Yes, you did comment that, see. I'm not sure if I like that or not. I like it in that it gives you something to do, but I don't like it in that it's meaningless, because now we're on the same track we were going to be on before. Bit of this, bit of that. Train Simulator guy asks, am I planning on using the PC editor? Yes, to make scenarios. I probably won't edit worlds with it. That's not really inside my capabilities. Nice and quick through the curves there, shaping everybody up. The LA skyline looks quite nice. I think they've done that pretty well. We're going to run out along the LA River. I'm sad that even in free roam mode, there's obviously a big yard that's populated right ahead of us. And it looks like it's scenic, but even in free roam mode, if you try and go across that bridge there, it kicks you out. So I think they need to get rid of some of the boundaries from free roam mode, really. Being a little bit naughty. Driving at 30 mile an hour. SC says, mate, I sat there for a good 10 minutes waiting like you was, and then I checked the map and clicked what I needed to do. Yeah. David Wright says, getting a lot of crashes on 8th gen, otherwise good. Oh, that's not good. It's not cool that it's crashing at all. Are there any particular places that it's crashing? Is it something you can reproduce, or is it just random? I'm not going to honk for this crossing because the gates are shut. But we'll honk for this one. Oops. It's a pretty quiet diesel, this one, because it's the latest generation of quiet and clean. when this was first modelled, the LA River was full of water, and myself and some of the Americans went, no, it's almost never got water in it. So now it's empty like it should be. As made famous by movies like Grease and Terminator 2. There's a few more recent ones that have been in it as well. It's time for 50. No, it's at random. That's no good, David. I'll report that back that you're experiencing that, though. Definitely pop in support tickets. I know that can be a bit of a frustrating experience, but if you pop in a support ticket each time you get a crash, it will certainly emphasize that there's an issue. This one you don't always have to acknowledge the alerter. If you move a control, the brakes or the throttle, that will automatically acknowledge the alerter for you because it tells the system you're still awake. It's only a short train, this one. It accelerates very quickly. I've only got another 10 more minutes that I can actually run on this. Notice how I just go from 0 to 8 to 0 again? Shouldn't really do that to a train, but you know. If you've got Cajon Pass, you will see freight on this route, and there are some drivable freight services. It's good to see. I'm looking forward to how they develop the LA area, actually, and see what the future brings, and see what other routes come up around LA, because now that they've got LA, it would make some sense to create some adjoining content. So I'm not sure we're actually going to get to Glendale in the time I have available, because the doctor that I'm going to is actually 45 minutes from me, and my appointment is at 10:45, and it's 9:50 now, so I'll have to go shortly and head off to that. I'll also feed back that you're experiencing crashes, David. I'll put that back through Ambassador. I've actually got a PS4 here. I might ask for some keys, and I'll have a bit of a play myself on the PS4 as well. Because if I can help isolate it, I can help get it fixed. Almost at Glendale. That's why I'm not fanging it right up. I'm pretty sure we're almost at Glendale anyway. It's not very far away. But probably can go a bit quicker here. Despite all the yellow signals. David says, I was Alps in the Flying Scotsman when it crashed doing my 4th run Doncaster to Peterborough. Yeah, I'm sad that it's crashing because that's a really frustrating experience. It is one of the joys of being in beta. It's what you expect it to just catch fire, fall over and sink into the swamp quite regularly, but geez, that looks close, doesn't it? Oh no, not too bad. There's one place in the Seamoth yard that the pillar is so close to the train, And I asked about it, saying, why is that so close? That doesn't seem right. And then they sent me some photos of what it really looks like, and it really does clear the train by a couple of inches. Bit of an empty container freight sitting over there. C says he knows someone on PS4 he hasn't mentioned at all that it crashes, and we talk daily, so defo tell me. Nearly at Glendale. Let's come up a bit so we can see the local scenery. Self-storage place on the left there. It's a very American thing, self-storage. It started to take off here too. I kind of think if you've got so much crap that you need to use self-storage, that maybe you just need less crap. Because you know, once it's in here, it's just going to end up on an auction somewhere. This station's funny because it's got a level crossing in the middle of it, and it's real. Might stop a little bit early, I think, but we'll see. Yeah, close enough. The doors are now opening. Please stand clear of the opening doors. You want to get in, dude? G'day, mate. Do you want to come in? Can if you want. I don't mind. Maybe I should open both sides. That closed that door. Let's try and open this side. And I'll see if any of these people get in. Maybe you are meant to open both sides here. I don't know. Weird, isn't it? Hey, C&W. David Wright was running the Scotsman tender first. That should be fine. C says must be randomised. I've heard more bother with PS5. PS5s do seem to be having a hard time of it. Wait till 7:33. What? 20 minutes we're going to sit here? I don't think so. Hey, look. We've gone to not in service, so it must be changing services. How weird. I think this is changing into a different service. But anyway, we're kind of at my time anyway. Oh, there's another one. You know what we're going to do? Let's get up here. Get over here. Jump out. Let's find one we can see out the window. He'll do. Can I sit here? No, I can't sit next to her. It won't let me. I can sit next to this lady. How you doing? What do you think of the game so far? Would you rather I just left you alone, didn't talk to you? Because, you know, you're clearly ignoring me. Hi. How you doing? The ponytail disappears into the seat sometimes. Anyway, I've actually reached the amount of time that I have this morning, and I've got to head off and see what I can do about this cold that I just can't shake, because it's been 11 days now. It's a bit crazy, and it's annoying me because it makes it challenging to sleep at night, but life. So I will see you guys tomorrow, because I'll be streaming again tomorrow. I'll be concentrating on Scotsman tomorrow. I really like the Scotsman. It's a fantastic locomotive. I do look forward to when you can have some more control over the fire. So we'll see how that goes and see what comes. But for the moment, yeah, fun stuff. Alrighty, well, thank you very much for watching, folks. I hope to see some of you tomorrow as well. It's been enjoyable interacting with you all, and we will do what we do. So enjoy. See you later. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I always like to get your feedback in the form of likes and comments because they help me understand what you want. Give the channel a subscribe and click on the tinkly things so you don't miss out on any new stuff. And thanks for your ongoing support. And please, be safe out there.